Now, we've all heard the stories. A person brings an old maybe painting or something they've had laying around to be appraised, and it turns out to be like worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah, that's the big cash that you're looking for. Now, maybe you've wondered if that antique in your garage could turn out that same way.
Well, wonder no more, because we have Linda Loomis and James Supp are here to tell us about what it's worth and the event coming up this weekend. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Before we talk about the event, Linda, can you tell us what's it worth?
It's a fabulous opportunity. We've been doing this for 4 years. It's an antiques appraisal event. We bring in 7 nationally known celebrities, appraisers. Mr. Supp is one of them. We hold it at the Doubletree on Alvernon from 9 to 4, and ticket prices are only $35. You can bring in 1 item for verbal appraisal and 1 person. If you wait until Sunday, the day of the event, then they're $40. But
tell me some of maybe like I was talking about, like we've heard these stories of people bringing in.
Oh, they're all over. We've been doing this for 3 years, and this is our 4th year. I remember the gentleman that bought a brass sailboat statue, and he bought it at a yard sale for $12. Guess how much it was appraised at?
$12,000.
$2,600.
Oh,
from $12 to
pretty
$2,600.
amazing.
No, that's so awesome. I totally just pulled a number out of thin air.
He was delighted, but we can go on and on with stories like that. It's just fascinating.
I love those stories.
I do too.
Yeah.
I know, and it makes me start to look around my house like, what haven't I looked at in a while? Is that old? That could be old.
Sure.
I should bring it just in case, and it like something I bought at Macy's 5 years ago. But
what is it that you're looking, because we saw some pictures of you actually looking at some items and doing some appraisals. What are you really looking for?
Well, it really depends on the actual item they bring in. If it's a painting, obviously we're going to look for signatures, some sort of details on where the painting came from. We'll also ask the person where they got it, what they know about it, because very often they can at least point us in the right direction to at least begin to look for information. If someone brings us a collection of baseball cards, in general, that's relatively easy. You could, we could look up the prices on various websites or what have you. But what we can run into trouble with is if it's an especially rare collection of baseball cards, say from the turn of the century, and then you've got to really know what you're talking about. You've got to be able to know the history of the baseball players and all these teams. So there's a lot more than just looking at the item. So you've got to talk to the person, find out what they know, and try to use that to kind of direct us for each item.
We had a really fun one last year. 2 gentlemen brought in something that they'd found at the dump. They were dropping off their yard clippings, and they found this metal thing. It looked like it belonged to a horror film. It was metal and a mash across the front, and they dusted off a little bit, brought it to us, WhatzItWorth, and it was a fencing mask from 1750s.
Oh my gosh.
Valued at $1,200. And this is something that they just found, at the dump.
That's incredible. Now, James, as we were saying, you are one of the appraisers that will be at the event. Tell us a little bit about your, where do you come from? Where did you get your experience? And then also maybe some of the other appraisers that we can expect to find.
Certainly. Well, I'm one of the few Tucson natives.
Great.
And I'm just very fortunate to have basically got the job that I wanted to retire into much earlier. I've always loved antiques, always wanted to own an antique store. Well, through just a series of really fortunate events, I ended up working with antiques, either restoring them, dealing them, now appraising them. And for the last, I think, 5 years now, I've been on PBS's Antiques Roadshow, along with all of the other appraisers that are going to be there this weekend. And we have some great appraisers coming in. We've got James Callaghan from Boston, who's an expert in Asian items, and he was the one who actually appraised that fencing mask. We've got Linda Dyer, who's absolute joy to be around. She's going to do all of our tribal and Southwest items. And she is just absolutely such a wonderful person with such a great knowledge, especially about Indian Pueblo pottery, things like that. We're going to have Stuart Whitehurst, who's like me, a generalist, who basically appraises everything under the sun. We've got a few specialties that we tend to like to do. I really enjoy tools and collectibles, pop art, culture, things like that, and all the strange stuff that no one else really wants to do is what I really enjoy. Stuart can do it all. Absolutely brilliant. And we've got several others. Colleen Fesco is going to be doing paintings, and she's been on Roadshow for a very long time. And she has done some of the greatest appraisals out there. She always finds amazing paintings. And I think our first year with What's It Worth, she found a Picasso.
She did.
Wow.
$150,000 Picasso.
That's amazing. Now, on top of the fact that we're going to have amazing appraisers that are going to be there, people are going to be able to find out the worth, this is also a fundraiser.
It's a fundraiser for Assistance League. We're all volunteer nonprofit organization. We've been working in the community for 55 years. And our signature program is Operation School Bill. And we provide new school clothing for school-age children from K through 5. It's always heartbreaking, isn't it, James, when we dress these young children. I was helping a 4th grade boy the other day, and children come to our facility on the school bus, and then we have our facility set up like a department store. He came in, and big blue eyes, and he said, "Am I going to get a pair of shoes today?"
Oh.
I said, "Yes, you're going to get 2 pairs of jeans, 3 t-shirts, shoes, socks, underwear, jacket, backpack, book." I went through the list. He started smiling, and I took him over to the shoe area, and he sat down to take his shoe off so I could measure his foot. He was wearing pink and white, tattered tennis shoes, 2 sizes too big, obviously from a sister or a mother or something. Oh. So I fitted him with boy shoes that fit him, and they were brand new, and he was so excited. He just grinned from ear to ear, and then he started shouting, "I have new shoes, I have new shoes."
So as people come to this event, they'll also get that warm feeling that this
Yeah.
money is going to be going towards
good
helping
purpose.
those children. You guys, thank you so much for doing. Thank you for sharing those stories. Those are amazing. And you can get your ticket to What's It Worth by calling 345-0717 or by logging on to whatsitworth.org. Now make sure to note that it is What's with a Z.